right. Hey, good morning. I felt like doing a live stream today. Just, you know, sit down and do some coding, right? It's been a while and yeah, I really felt like doing it. It was a very inspiring night actually. It's the night that inspired this live stream. And let me tell you why. At around 3:30 there was this huge storm rolling in and I really liked storms. So I got out of bed and I watched the thunder and the lightning, and it was nice. And it got me thinking about the next thing I want to do for Tempest. And that's kind of fitting, right? During a storm, brainstorming about Tempest. Anyway, um, I got inspired to work on something today, like a small feature that I think will work out pretty good. I'm gonna run you through it, but first I need to share my screen here, and I'm also gonna share the where is it over here? Gonna share the stream as well. I'm on Pinkery now. I'm trying it out. I don't know. I'm live. It's much better than Twitter. It's much smaller, but it kind of has like a nice vibe to it. And let me also quickly share it on our Tempest Discord here. I'm live streaming. I'm gonna improve the query statement builder stuff. Okay, that's cool. So let me get Stormy out of the way here, by the way. He's in the way. Hey, some pretty cool things are happening, right? It's been a while since I streamed and talked about Tempest on this channel, so I've like so many cool contributions are coming in. Lots of people are joining and sending pull requests. Super nice. And I created a kind of roadmap to sketch out where I want Tempest to go. And this gives a very nice, overview of what the next steps are. And so like Alpha 1 is the first future step now, and this will be the first time that I'm going to promote Tempest as like this is a thing on my blog and on social media. So we still need to do a handful of things here before Alpha 1. And one of the things here is the improved query builder, which I want to work on today. So, and then there will be Alpha 2, just big bug fixes and working towards PHP 8.4. I also want to look into supporting Tempest Views as a PHP Storm plugin. I don't know if I don't think I've talked about this on stream, but like I've created a custom view engine for Tempest, which I really like it. But of course it needs proper IDE support in order to be really useful. So right now you can also still use the very old Vue implementation that we built on stream, I think a year or so ago. So yeah, I wanna look into having proper support for this new templating language as well. And yeah, that's about it for Alpha 2, just bug fixes and some more alphas. I don't know how it will go, but then we're working towards a 1.0 release. So that's pretty exciting. There's, of course, quite a lot of things missing still, and I have them listed here. Things I want to improve incrementally over time. So, for example, like the 1.1 release should focus on authentication, HTMX support, and improved form support overall. Application events are something that are getting added over time, but we really need to go through it and just add events in the right places for people to hook into. We need a queue manager, something like Horizon, but probably CLI only. Mail support. Static sign generation is just something I need myself, but I think it might be a nice feature, and then some event bus improvements as well. I haven't thought further than that, but yeah, pretty cool, right? I'm really excited about it, and like people are joining the Discord. You can as well if you want to. There's a link over here, so tempest.stitcher.io. I also wrote down some thoughts about why I'm targeting 8.4, and this was really interesting because I posted it on Reddit, and there are so many great pro and con reactions on it. And I like how people are taking the time to, as you can see, talk about it. I might actually do a video on this specific topic because I have some more thoughts about it. But anyway, for Tempest, it's going to be 8.4 for 3 reasons, basically. Because we need, or I want, property hooks. So that's just 8.4 is required. I still believe that pushing the community forward is a good thing by only requiring up-to-date and supported PHP versions. I realize PHP 8.3 is also supported, but see reason number 1 why I want 8.4 on its own. And then the third reason, actually, this is an interesting one. I don't think I talked about it on stream yet, but requiring 8.4 as the minimum version, it will create a natural filter. So there will be less people trying it out. And like at the stage it is in right now, I would say that's a good thing. So, you know, it's just, it gives us more time to find bugs, and it lowers the pressure on there are a handful of people working on this, but still, you know, it's just people working on it in their free time as a hobby project. So creating like a barrier for people to actually start using it when it's first released is, I think, a good thing. So, but this was the Reddit thread was really interesting. You can read through it if you want to. So, okay, we had the roadmap. Let's take a look here. These are the issues still open for Alpha 1. And I want to work on these query builder features here today. Like I said, there was this storm last night, and it was really, really productive for me, just in terms of laying awake and just thinking about what I want to do. And let me quickly paint a picture here. So pretty early on, we decided that we don't want a super extensive ORM in Tempest because there are so many edge cases, and there are it's just such a huge amount of code that you have to write, and it's going to be buggy, and it's never going to be as good as people want it to be. So we settled on, let's just provide a very minimal ORM, like the model trait here, with a couple of methods. You have a query method where you can build a model query. You can find, you can load some relations, you can create a model, update or renew. You know, if you're used to Laravel, you know how this works. Let me zoom in a little bit as well. You can save models, updates. I just realized yesterday we're missing a delete method here. Anyway, so yeah, very, very simple ORM. Basically select queries and joins, and then mapping that data onto models, and also the other way around, being able to save them. And we're not going to do anything else but that. But there are some edge cases where you need, you want to create migrations, for example, and we said here that we're not going to care about having multi database support, because, you know, people will just have to use one database. If they choose SQL, MySQL, they'll have to use it in their local environment and production environment, which I think is a good thing, actually, because when I was working on Laravel projects with SQLite for the testing database and then MySQL for production, there were always these little differences between the two, and it was really annoying. So we said, hey, migrations, let's just write queries, you know. Let's see here, create the author table here, for example. Oh yeah, these have been adjusted already, but yeah, we're gonna come to why this here is a problem. So initially we just wrote some queries here, but there are some places in the framework that have to like provide functionality for all available database drivers. So Tempest is supporting SQLite, MySQL, and Postgres. And so when the framework provides a migration, for example, like the create migrations table, that's a pretty important one that all projects need. Well, we need to provide an implementation for both MySQL, Postgres, and SQLite, right? Because there are differences. There are differences in how the create table syntax is between those languages, unfortunately. Anyway, so we're kind of stuck here, right? There's a fairly new person who has come in and sent a lot of cool pull requests to Tempest, and he added this dialect function here. Well, create query statement actually. Let's see here, this class. And this class, it has a couple of methods, right? Create table, alter table. You can see it over here. Create foreign key, create table, drop foreign key, drop table. You know, these kinds of statements that are dependent on the SQL language. So not necessarily a simple select from, because that's the same everywhere. This is the guy, Travis. Tonko Mulder. Hi, Tonko. He's the one who wrote this. So yeah, we need, for some edge cases, we need like this special kind of syntax. And the way Laravel solves this is by having grammars for every query language. Let me actually check if I can do a RFC vote over here. So Laravel has these MySQL grammar. One for queries and one for schema operations, but let's see. So they have all these methods here. So compile methods, basically just creating strings, right? Creating strings for a specific query language. And there are a lot of things you can do. It's like, this is too much for Tempest to implement in a first version, but yeah, you can see that there are quite a lot of there is quite a lot of functionality here, and that's the thing that's scaring me, because if you want to support, like fully support all database engines, and like it's a huge amount of code. I think these are, yeah, so Laravel also has support for a SQL Server, and yeah, that's it. So, well, we're just gonna not support SQL Server, but still, it's a huge amount of work, and with so much code. Let's see here, how many lines of code is this? This is like 1,500 lines of code. There are gonna be bugs in here, and it's not gonna be fun, right? So, okay, we settled on, let's just make methods here for very specific cases where we need like dialect specific syntax. And for the rest, for the userland code, we're still gonna just say a migration, just write it in the language you're using, right? Just write plain SQL basically. So for now, migrations, they are classes, right? And you will be able to do that all the time. But what will also be possible is to create a plain SQL file basically, and we'll run that as a migration. And actually Tonko is working on that. So you know, just embracing SQL as best as possible, and limiting the amount of like bridge code we need to write to like bridge the gap between SQL and PHP, and write like another API on top of basically just creating strings, right? So yeah, that's the problem we're trying to solve, and I think we did a very good thing with this class over here, the query statement. But like I said, I was thinking about this last night during the Tempest, during the storm, and I feel like we need some improvements here. And that's what I want to do today. And what I think I want to do, so I've only like done this in my head, so I don't know how it will work out. But what I think I want to do is have a class, a very simple class, that is responsible for generating one specific statement, right? So for example, the let's see here, is create table is a good one, but like primary, adding a primary key into a create table statement, right? It's a little bit different for every dialect. And so I want what's now a method, I want this to be a class. I wanted to implement an interface and then compose a query out of these statements, basically. And I think that's the way I want to go, because it will keep our classes, our statement classes, very small. And we also won't need to have like implementations per dialect. We can just, like for now, that feels simpler. But let's see how it goes. So the first thing we'll need is a query statement interface. Oh yeah, we already have this query statement class, of course. I'm actually gonna rename this something like old for now, because we're gonna refactor all of this anyway. Query statement will be an interface, and it will have one method. So it will have render or build, maybe build is better, or compile is what Laravel uses. It's naming right. And it will get the, not a grammar, the dialect. We call it dialect because I think actually that's like the more official term, I think. I think that's the reason why I went with it. Okay, so this is the interface basically, and building a query will consist of multiple of these query statements, right? And now we're going to have to implement some. So let's take a look here. So query statements, and the primary key is a good one. Primary key, let's do this to start with. So implements a query statement, and we'll add our compile method here. And let's go to our, let's see, our old query statement old class. And let's see, alternative primary here. So instead of adding something to an array here, we're just going to return match on dialect. And we also need, we need input over here, and that's going to be passed in via the constructor. So let's say private string name. Let's call it name. This name. So like that. So this is basically the thing I want to go for. And now we need, well, I'm also going to add a raw statement that's just going to have private string statement. Oh, and then let's delete my compile, of course. And then I'm going to say return statement like this. So with a raw statement, you can do whatever you want, basically, right? And now we'll have to add more of these statements, of course. But first, we need to make sure we can use them instead of all of this. So let's go back to our create migrations table. The API here, I think, will actually stay the same. So, well, I might do some changes here, but we'll see. Okay, so first of all, what we're doing is injecting the database driver which has the dialect. But these are quite a lot of steps because the dialect, let me show you our database dialect is an enum, and it can create a query statement with itself, but we're gonna wrap things around a little bit, I think. So yeah, because so let's say, so over here, right, the goal of this function here is to create a query that has like the create table syntax for this specific table. So let's just write it as an array for now. And actually I'm gonna create a create table statement over here as well, and implement query statement. So the compile method over here, and over here, let's say it will have a, I'll have to do it like this. So private array statements, right? It can be read-only. Let's say over here, so query statement statements, okay? Just follow along and we'll see where this leads us, right? This was the idea I had like for this night during a thunderstorm. So bear with me. Okay, so our create statement, compiling it, it will mean that we'll have to, let me actually see our old class over here. So what does create table actually does? It's the same syntax for basically everything. For all dialects is the same. So, let's say this is what we're going to return, right? Create sprintf, create table with a name, and then we'll say it will have some definitions, right? That's our create table syntax. Now we need the two inputs here. The table name is going to be here, private string table name, right? So this table name, and then our definitions are basically the collection of statements over here, right? So let's say we'll do an array. Well, we'll do an implode with commas on array map, and we'll pass it our statements. I really hate array map syntax in PHP anyway, and we'll say, so we'll get a query statement here, statement, and we'll say query statement compile with the dialect. Basically, that's all we need. So now let's go back to our create migrations table. We actually don't need this anymore. Let's say we're going to return a new query, and we're gonna make this syntax a little bit more concise, but create table statement. Let's wrap it like so. It's gonna be migration, and it's gonna it's gonna be something like this driver dialect. And then here we can, so we need to clean up this API because this is kind of a mess. We don't want to write all of this, but that's pretty easy to solve. How's that for for alignment? No, it sucks. Yeah, this is what I need. Okay, and so here we can create our new primary key. Let's say ID. We can say new raw statement. Name text not null, something like this. And actually that's all we need. So this actually, I think this should in theory already work if we have implemented both of these. Yeah. So let's run through this. Let's actually do it like this just for clarity. For now, we're gonna improve this API. So we create a statement, a create table statement for. Can I? No, I cannot. I cannot do this right now. That's not possible. Maybe this should be an array. Maybe that's better. And so, okay. Like this, right? Okay. So a create table statement with table name migration, and these are the other statements it gets, right? And when we compile this and we pass it the dialect, is gonna generate a string basically, and that string will be the query, which we pass into a query object, and we are done. Right? Okay. So cool thing is that now we can change the return type here from query to create table statement basically, and then we can return this. Ooh, that's nice. I didn't think of this when I created the created my the idea in my head, but this is a really nice refactor. Actually, I'm just gonna do that right now. Create table statement. Create table statement. Let's return this. And now we have to go to our migration manager. Ooh, there's an exception there that shouldn't be. And now we can compile it over here, which has the database config, which has the driver, which has the dialect. I need to improve this, but let's keep it for now. It should be this, because it's nullable, right? So yeah, I actually think. I know we have to wrap it in the query. So let's rename this to statement, right? And then we'll say query equals new query statement compile, like this. Let's move this to dialect here just for clarity, but like I said, I'm gonna refactor this. Let's check my comments here. Hey, Bren, what do you use for reformatting the code? PHP Storm's reformatting, it's PHP Storm. It's the let me check. It's a key binding, but I just do it. It's the reformat code action, right? And then yeah, we also have PHP CS fixer, but that's only in CI. You could enable that in PHP Storm as well, but I don't really like getting all these inspections that highlight whenever something doesn't follow the right formatting, because that's just a lot of noise, and CI will fix it for me. So even though my PHP Storm config isn't 100% exactly the same as our PHP CS fixer config, but that's fine, because as soon as it's pushed to main, it gets fixed and I don't have to worry about it. So so yeah. Okay, this is pretty cool, right? I think this is pretty cool. It's a huge breaking change, of course, but that's fine. And the same is we're gonna do the same over here. We're gonna rename this to drop table statement. And I'm actually gonna create it already here, because drop table statement, but it's just gonna have a drop table. I think this is the syntax. This table name. But let's check in our query statement old drop table. Yeah, that's it. So now we can refactor this to drop table statement. Okay. Sorry about the typo, Brad. In all fairness, though, I write my name wrong myself. So I think I told that story on stream before, but there's this weird, this is my name, right? But there's this weird grammar rule in Dutch where some verbs that end in a T or a D, end in a D, are written with D and T in some cases, and it's really stupid, and I don't know how it works. And I had this Dutch teacher who tried to explain it, and she said that we were stupid if we didn't understand it. So I just started write my name on tests with D and T, and that's how my internet name originated. Okay, so we need to refactor this. By the way, I have a meeting at 11, so I'm on a time limit, and this is super cool now. And I don't think I have 3 meetings today. So yeah, after this, it's it's non-stop meetings for the rest of the day, basically. Important meetings. These are important meetings. We at JetBrains, they're usually meetings are pretty to the point, and only when they are really needed. But we really need some meetings. So okay, we have the drop table statement here, and we changed our interface. And now I need to go through all of these, of course. So drop table statement Like, how nice is this new drop table statement migration? Tonko, are you still here? What do you think of this? Tonko is the one who built the original thingy, and it's what inspired me to think about it during the night, during the storm. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to do like the very boring task of going through all these interface, like all these classes, and changing them. Oh, I already changed this one, and then we'll run our tests and we'll see what happens. So create table statement, return new create table statement, and I will say so author, and then oh yeah, like this, new primary key. Was it? I should probably rename this to primary key statement. Primary key statement, and then what is it? ID. Then we have new raw statement, name text, not null. New raw statement, no, it's type text, and it's actually nullable. And of course, I will need to add like a text statement now as well. Maybe I should do that right now, because otherwise I'll have to go through it. Okay, let's do the text statement. So text statement implements statement. Let's say constructs private string. Oh, that's the wrong statement. Oh, implements a query statement, right? String, what's the name? Column name. And okay, let's check our old implementation again. The text. Oh, it isn't. Didn't it have? Hang on a second. Didn't it have the? Oh, wait, just create column. Hang on. Create column. Okay, so basically it's a private bool nullable, like this, and then we'll say return sprint f. What's it like? So the name text, and then not null in case it is not null. So we'll say this column name, and then this nullable. If it's nullable, we'll say nothing actually, and otherwise we'll say not null. Right? That's how it should go, I think. Now we can go back to here, and then we can say new text statement name. Nullable is false by default. And then new text statement type nullable true. Like this. Okay. Drop table statement, and then we'll say return new drop table statement author. Basically, that's all. That is all. Okay. Next one. Actually, I'm gonna like do these two, and then I'm gonna try. No, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Create table statement, but I think we need an integer statement now. Return new create table statement. The table name is book, and then we have an array of let's see here, new text statement title. Let's just do a new raw statement for now. ID integer. That's it. New, oh yeah, foreign key, I need it. So obviously we're gonna have like a new relation statement or belongs to statement over here, right? But for now, let's see what it does over here. Oh, it does a lot of things. Okay, yeah, no, we need it. We need it right now. Anyway, we might as well do it. So belongs to statement, construct private string, and it's okay. It needs all these things. Like so. Local key table. We can refactor these to enums, for example, or booleans or whatever. So, and then we can just copy this like so and say, let's implement query statement. Let's add the compile method here and return like this, and then switch all of these. This is actually wrong. Hang on a second, because this is yeah, the query statement old class, it knew about the table it was trying to construct, and in this case it doesn't. So how do we foreign table, I think, and then private string local table. We might find like a better solution for this. And then we say foreign key, right? So this table is local table, and then this foreign table constraint. So foreign key, this is just used for the foreign key name. That's fine. And then we have yeah, so this local key references this foreign table on this foreign key, and then we have this on delete and this on update, like so. And let's see our create book. And instead, and what we can do as well is like include this statement in here as well, but I'm not going to do that for now because that would lead us a bit too far. So new belongs to statement, author ID, and then local key. Well, actually, hang on a second. Local table. Local key is, oh no, we need the local key, right? Wouldn't it make more sense if to have the table first? I think so. Yeah. Local table, local key, and then foreign table. So hang on. So local table is author, local key is, it's actually like this, and then author. So book, author ID, author, and then ID, basically. I need to improve this because I think it would be much nicer to write it like this. Book.author ID equals author.id, something like this. But let's keep it like this for now. That's that. New drop table statement, return new drop table statement, the book. Oh, I hope all of this works, especially since I'm on a time constraint. Um, Let's check here. Hey, Steve, you're here as well. Nice. Cool. Totally lost my track now that I've seen Steve. Oh yeah. I need to move to the to the next migration here. But these should be fairly simple, right? Create table statement, return new create table statement, object factory A, and then new primary key statement ID, and a new text statement prop. Like so, and over here we say our drop table statement. Okay, so these are simple. These are just very simplistic. Create table statement, return new create table statement. Table name is foo, and then the statements are, let's see, primary key, new primary key statement ID, and new text statement bar, like so, and then drop table statement, but it returns null. That's fine. Okay, 3 more, and these are very simple. Create table statement, create table statement, table name is A, and then we have new raw statement BID integer. Yeah, that's it. And then drop table statement. Actually, can I think I can return null here. Ah, well, I can do drop table statement. It's not that much work. Okay, next one. Let me actually copy this, because that's gonna be kind of the same. Create table statement, and this is gonna be CID, and this is gonna be, these classes are used for like testing the relationship loading. Drop new return new drop table statement B, like so, and then the final class. And okay, so who want to take a guess? Is this gonna work or not? I say I'll probably have some kind of weird error somewhere, and then it will work. Create table statement, return new table statement. Create table statement. C. I should have copied it, right? Anyway, new primary key statement ID, and then new create text statement name, like so, and then a drop, return new drop table statement C. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, Steve has faith, and he's in heaven as well. Nice. Okay, so one thing I need to do here, string name is ID, because that's gonna get annoying pretty fast. Oh, and I forgot to, like, primary key statement. I forgot these. Don't worry. I haven't run my test yet, so this is just compiler Brent. Okay, so those are fine. Let's check here. Let's remove that. Don't want it. Don't want it. Over here, new primary key statement, like so. Like so. Okay. Will it work? Create migration table. Yeah. No. The migration manager still need to execute down here. I have to adjust it basically to this statement is down. And then, yeah. Tonko is asking if I can make a PR of it. Yeah. Let's see. Query statements. But just hang on a second. I'm not going to push it just yet. I've got like 20 minutes and then it must work. Like what we're going to do first before I'm going to run my test is run static analysis, right? Let's see. Because like I said, the tests would not fail, right? So, and this is just static analysis. Let's see, a property driver is never read. Oh, these aren't even errors, by the way. Okay. But let's fix them. We can remove this from basically all migrations. Let's see. So that's gone. Let's remove it like so. Foo migration manager, a migration. It never had a constructor. I'm missing some. Oh yeah. Oh, all right. Boom. Table. Let's clean it up. And like so. That is everything, I think. Let's run QA again. And one more error. Class create migrations table does not have a constructor, sure. Let's go to our migration manager, and then we have, yeah, this is not necessary anymore. Okay, and Tonko is saying that dropping the foreign key should also happen here. You mean in like the drop table, like the down method, right? Yeah, that's a good point. But let's first see if this works. Okay, yeah, so it might give some errors. Oh, Steve, you had too much faith. Oh. But like my prediction was one simple error and then it's gonna work, right? That's what I said, right? And I think it might all have to do with a type error here. Return value must be type string, but null returned in the belongs to statement. Nah, it's not gonna. I don't think that's gonna fix everything. Steve, here's hoping, but no, there are gonna be some errors. Yeah, see, I told you, Steve. I told you. Okay, let's check here. These are. Let's just run. Come on. Okay. I think, let's see here, the migration manager test is probably the best place to start. So what's the error here? Oh, there's the syntax error. Because there is a comma too much. Yes, okay. So that actually has to do with the belongs to statement. Would array filter solve that? Let's actually let's try that out. So the problem here, create table statement. So when we compile this, let's see this statements. So there is there are, of course, there are multiple migrations. So the thing it's erroring on here is the belongs to statement, which will generate a empty string. Let me actually show that here. So if I have this array map, yeah, this empty string here. So does array filter out empty strings, or should I make it nullable? It filters out empty strings. Array filter. Oh, how beautiful, like PHP array functions nested. Okay, now the test works. Okay, let's see what happens. Tonko is predicting errors with a foreign key. Sure. I'm seeing no errors. Ha! Bonjour, Jean-Marc. You are just in time to witness, like, okay, it were 2 errors instead of 1. But no, actually, it was 1 error. But the fix, no, it were 2. I was wrong. But I was close, wasn't I? So this is pretty cool. And now that we have this in place and our migrations are updated, do I have some time? I've 10 more minutes. Let's see, like, what I want to do is, and it's a simple thing, like the belongs to statement here. Instead of this, let's do local and foreign, right? And get rid of this, and then we'll say foreign table foreign key equals explode dot on this foreign, and then the same for local, right? And then we'll say this. And then we just have to make a small adjustment here. So book.author.id equals author.id. Isn't this much nicer, right? And oh yeah, let's run this. Many people are saying hello now. That's nice. We're only like almost an hour in the stream, but glad you're you're joining. Hello from France. Hello from Ghana, and hello from Switzerland. I'm sorry, in Dutch it's Switzerland. Anyway, what happened to the frame rate? I don't know. I hope it's good or fine. This is so nice. So yeah, cool. Okay, so next steps are to, and I don't have time for that, but to add more statements here. And then I think it would be, maybe we don't need it, like a Fluent API to have something like this. Create table, text. I don't know if this is actually, I mean, it's how Laravel does it, but do we really need it? Belongs to, I don't know. Hello from Nepal as well. And Egypt. This is so crazy. Like, people from all over the world watching me code. That's really nice. Thanks for letting me know all these countries. I noticed that the US is still asleep, probably. Yeah. Hey, but this is pretty cool, right? Don't you think? And it all works. I'm gonna commit everything. So Tonko, you can go through it and add statements. And you can, let me know your opinion. Oh, was there? Oh yeah, the query statement old. Actually, I still, yeah. Let me open a draft PR here. So on main, yeah, and then create draft. So there it is, because I now need to remove old version, and I also need to add more statements, and I need to update the migrate fresh command, because actually this is another place where we need like dialect specific syntax. Migrate fresh over here, because to migrate all, like do a fresh migration, basically drop all the tables, you need to find out. Oh yeah, I was actually doing it like this. Yeah, you need to get a list of all tables to know which to drop, and you need to disable foreign key checks, which differ per engine. So okay, there's some work to be done still, but really cool. And I like the syntax. Create migrations. I like this. This is cool. So yeah, nice. That's about it, because, well, my meeting is starting in 15 minutes, but it's a nice place to end, I would say. Let's see here the comments. Hello from Wales as well. And oh yeah, and Tonko, yeah, and foreign key checks. Let me actually add that to foreign key dropping foreign key support. I need to still figure that out as well. Let's see. I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do for APIs with Tempest. Actually, Steve, when you there have been quite a lot of improvements since you tried it out. That was a couple months ago, I think. So and what also improved are the docs. I wrote a lot more about how Tempest works. However, the models page is very outdated, which is of course pretty crucial for you. So yeah, but try it out. Let me know your thoughts. I'm really glad to see you live coding and chat with you. Yeah, thank you, Mahmoud. That's that's really appreciated. And someone from Romania as well, and Steve also. Stop it, folks. Jean-Marc, s'il vous plaît. So is this new? Like this framework? Yeah, it's still work in progress. It's something I've been building for, 3 years now, but like over the past year, I've been doing some live streams on this channel, and it's a really cool project, and it's shaping up to be something. Like it started as like, oh, let's just figure out some interesting things with PHP, but it's really cool. We have what are some stats I can show you. There are over 1,000 commits now, and I would say we have some people who are really actively working on it. So I hope that you see people are pitching in. I published a roadmap here. I mentioned this at the start of the stream as well, where you can like follow along and see what's going on. We're now working towards an alpha 1 version, which might still have breaking changes afterwards, but which in theory should be able to create a simple web application with and console applications. That's the goal. So is this Laravel but not Laravel? It's not Laravel, but it's a framework. So thanks for the luck on my meetings. And Steve, this is what Laravel would be if it was rewritten today, I guess. Might be. I don't know. There are some like pretty big differences compared to Laravel's design philosophy even today. Like the biggest one is probably the use of interfaces and no extension whatsoever, so no abstract classes. So everything is final basically. That's the whole rabbit hole. I actually did a video about that last week, so you can check that out if you want to. Just click somewhere below on the channel and search for final, and you'll find it. Hello, Yasin as well from Marrakesh. And oh, Jean-Marc, you're right. Don't forget to give a star to the repository. Star it! And yeah, Tempest is Steve's kind of code. You could say that I wrote Tempest for Steve. No, I wrote it for myself, but I'm like one of the okay, I need to tell you about this. Okay, my alarm is gonna go off in 1 minute, but I still have 5 minutes. Um, so yesterday, okay, can I? One of the things of Tempest is that it's designed uh, not just as a standalone framework as you create a Tempest project, but it also works as there's the alarm. It also works as a package you can include into other projects. And yeah, let me actually show you this. This is pretty cool. So this is Stitcher, right? This is my blog, and this is there I am. Stitcher has been. It's now the 6th or 7th year I've been working on it. I've been going through it. There's no framework here. It's a static generator, and it's very, very specific to what I do. But I want to add comments to my blog. And it's like a third-party comment provider, but their support, it sucks. So there are no comments on my blog anymore. But these are statically generated sites, so you need like an API to load comments from for a specific blog post, and then use a little bit of JavaScript to render them on the page here. I'm actually going to go the Livewire approach or HTMX approach to just return HTML from the backend and plop it in here, and just like 5 lines of JavaScript and nothing more than that. But Anyway, so I want to add comments, so I need an API, but yeah, I wanted to use Tempest, and that just works because what I did in this existing project, I just required Tempest framework, right? As a standalone. By default, it won't do anything if you don't install it, and if you do install it, it will like check whether it doesn't override any files that are there. And then the only thing I had to do is public in oh yeah, these are all statically generated files, of course, but like in index here. So I need some I need to define whether I'm in my static blog, in my old framework kind of project, or in the Tempest project. And so I said everything that starts with app is handled by Tempest. So that's what's happening here. So if the URI starts with app, then we'll boot Tempest and run the HTTP server. And that's pretty cool because what was the URL? Actually, let me check here. Comments.json. Yeah, this one over here. Oh, doesn't work. Oh, should go here. So so yeah, this is rendered by Tempest, and everything in the app folder here is just Tempest, Commons controller over here. And so I was basically able to plug in Tempest into an existing project. Without the existing project doesn't have to do anything, doesn't have to know anything about it, and I can just use it for a new part of this project. Of course, like the ideal situation would be to refactor Stitcher as a whole to Tempest, but that takes a while, and I'm impatient, and there are other things I need to do. So so yeah. Another person from Romania. That's nice. And okay, one last question from Jean-Marc. What's the reason you are using PHP unit and not Pest? We actually had a pretty long discussion about it in one of the issues here. Let's see, Pest. I don't remember PHP units. Was it this? Was it this one? I think. Yeah. We talked about Pest over here. The main reason was that Pest in Laravel is pretty huge, but in the whole PHP ecosystem, it's still not that big. That's the main reason. So, just use the things people know. This is not a framework just for Laravel developers. That's one thing. Another reason is it's just personal preference, I guess. I like Pest, but it's new. It's not like I'm not that comfortable with it yet, so I would need to learn it. And it's just one of these things that adds a little bit of overhead that I'm not ready to do right now. We actually talked about maybe moving to Pest at a later point, and we might still do that. But for now, it's PHP unit. Anyway, folks, I need to go to my meeting. Do what you've seen is saying here, like and comment. That would really help out. And I'll see you. I'll see you in the next one. Okay. Thanks for being here. And yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.